Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight, the situation at public healthcare facilities dire. The latest in the fight against COVID-19. A suspect shot after a police chase. Plus, a look inside the 28-bed Samaritan's Purse outside PMH.
Our News is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thank you for joining us. I'm Kyle Joachim. Top of news tonight, health officials warning that the public healthcare system's capacity to treat patients for COVID-19 is nearing the point where a decision would have to be made on who lives and who dies. The news came during a press conference where health officials reported 132 new cases of COVID-19.
At this time, I haven't seen a patient die because we haven't been able to support them and pick someone else who has had to live. But I will tell you the reality of the situation is if we continue beyond capacity, those difficult decisions may have to be made.
Director of the Infectious Disease Program, Dr. Nikia Forbes, explaining the dire situation the country now finds itself in amid the fight against COVID-19. She said it is nearing the point where healthcare personnel may have to decide who lives and who dies due to overcapacity.
I can't speak for the other facilities, but I can tell you that the reality of the situation when facilities are beyond capacity is that you could be in a situation where you could not manage the patient and you might not be able to care for a patient that needs respiratory support.
And we categorize from 1 to 5, depending on severity. It's determined by vital signs and the condition that they're presented with, so they're presenting complaint. So all patients are triaged and then sent to the necessary area for management. If it's a resuscitation room or if they're actually triaged away to a clinic because it's not an emergency situation.
There were 132 new COVID-19 cases reported yesterday, pushing the total to 5,517. 2,164 of them are considered active, with 107 of them in hospital. Over the past 7 days alone, the country has seen over 600 new confirmed cases. And just yesterday, 3 more people died as a result of the virus. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Pearl McMillan calls the situation startling.
1 in every 50 COVID-19 cases have died as a direct result of the virus. We have now registered COVID-19 deaths on 8 of our islands.
But there's another major concern: the state of the intensive care unit and whether there are enough ventilators given the overcapacity at PMH. Health officials deny there is a shortage.
With respect to our capacity for ventilating patients that require it, we do have the capacity to do that, and it can be done on several wards within the Princess Margaret Hospital. At this time, we have not exceeded the capacity of ventilators to those of the demand for ventilators. We have approximately 65 to 66 ventilators in country at our disposal, and we have not put all of those in use.
Weekend lockdowns and a daily 7 p.m. curfew remain in effect as a measure to curb the spread. However, McMillan says it may be a while before we can see numbers drop as a result.
The increase in restrictive measures implemented last Friday, or October 9th, are not yet manifesting results. It will take time to see a decrease in new cases, decrease in hospitalizations, decrease in deaths, and a downward change in the trends.
The 511 COVID-19 hotline is once again up and running. Health Minister Remington Wells explained the role of healthcare professionals from Samaritan's Purse, which is setting up a 28-bed tent facility outside of PMH.
This facility will accommodate positive COVID-19 patients and patients under investigation who require hospitalization. These patients will be admitted to the isolation and treatment unit through the PMH emergency department and medical staff referral process.
Well, Samaritan's Purse is on the ground to help ease the burden placed on the country's healthcare system amid rising COVID-19 cases, deaths, and hospitalizations. Officials say patients will be in the 28-bed facility by Monday. Berthany McDermott takes a look.
I think there's, I'd say, 20, something like that, doctors and nurses that will be coming in to help treat the patients.
Samaritan's Purse International is on the ground at Princess Margaret Hospital, constructing a field hospital to assist in the fight against COVID-19. According to team leader Dr. Elliot Tenpenny, they will also provide nurses and doctors.
So we'll have doctors, nurses, we'll be bringing supplies, PPE, other things to help treat what's going to end up being a 28-bed hospital capacity here.
The facility is expected to be completed by Monday. The 14-plus tons of critical relief supplies were airlifted to the capital today. The facility will consist of a medical supply tent, administration tent, changing tent, donning and doffing tent, 3 patient wards, and a tent for protective equipment. Dr. Tenpenny is hoping to bring some relief to the already strained healthcare system.
The impact that I expect is that we're going to help take care of some of the patients that Princess Margaret Hospital has, honestly. We're not here to save the day on our own. We're coming in here together, integrated with Princess Margaret Hospital, to work together to take care of the island and the broader country's needs.
Tenpenny said Samaritan's Purse has erected field hospitals in other parts of the world and came to the Bahamas at the request of the Prime Minister. While he could not say how long they will be in the Bahamas, he said the facility may be left behind.
I don't know how long, and we're in talks with the hospital right now about that. And then we're also in talks of if we're going to leave this material behind, this unit behind, so they can continue to operate it with their doctors and nurses that we can train.
But while it's not certain, that's an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
After being deported from the United States, former fugitive 38-year-old Jermaine Scott in the black T-shirt appeared before Deputy Chief Magistrate Andrew Forbes on a murder charge. It is alleged that on April 20th, 2013, Scott intentionally and unlawfully caused the death of Alejandro Bain. According to the police report, Bain was involved in a verbal dispute with another man over a woman inside an establishment on Blue Hill Road South. When the argument escalated, the man moved to the outside of the bar. Bain was then shot. In court today, Scott, a resident of Golden Gates, was not required to enter a plea, and bail was denied. He was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until December 3rd, when he will return to court for service of a voluntary bill of indictment. He was represented by attorney Kevon Maynard. Well, police say a man is in hospital nursing a gunshot injury after leading officers on an early morning high-speed chase. As Jared Higgs tells us, another suspect is still on the run.
Residents of this quiet neighborhood off Malcolm Road said they were woken by the sound of gunshots after 4 a.m.
No, because they wake me up, jump me up on my sleep, because I ain't curfew, so I logged on.
Residents of Revival Faith Way off Malcolm Road say it was after 4 a.m. when gunshots and police sirens woke them out of their sleep.
There are at least about 15 to 20 cars in this area, so I assume something drastic happened.
According to police, it was around 4 a.m. when officers were alerted to a silver vehicle moving about Kennedy subdivision in a suspicious manner. Responding officers encountered a vehicle, fitting the description, and beckoned it to stop, but the driver failed to comply. Police chased the suspects through Revival Faith Way. Our News obtained footage of the silver vehicle speeding through the corner at around 4:37 a.m. with police hot on its tail.
It seems like the Wild West, so I just stay in my house. I ain't going nowhere, and all I see is light flashing up and down through the corner. So
police say when that silver car got to the end of the corner, the driver got out and pointed a gun at officers. Police say they were in fear for their lives and fired at the man, injuring him. This neighbor didn't have much sympathy.
Okay, well, that's good news to know, because at 4:30 they should be home and sit on this road doing foolishness. Then their parents could be out here hollering, "Oh, my good son, why your good son on the road?" that kind of time. Curfew wasn't over yet. But congratulations to the police officers. They did a job well done.
Police recovered a black and silver Smith & Wesson 9mm pistol on the scene. While one of the suspects was taken to hospital via ambulance, the other got away.
Well, if he escaped, I wish him the best of luck, because he ain't going to be out there for long. They should be taking this curfew very seriously and stop doing foolishness.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force will dramatically change the way it trains recruits in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Commodore Raymond King says the changes come after nearly all of the new trainees and multiple instructors contracted the virus. Here's Jasmine Brown.
Commodore King says the fact of the matter is training protocols here at the Defense Force will have to change thanks to that recent COVID-19 outbreak among the new entry. During the RBDF's passing out parade on Friday, Commodore King revealed that one of the instructors unknowingly passed on the virus to 46 new entries and 8 other instructors. King says the recruits were asymptomatic.
We kept the recruits in a bubble, but we didn't do so with the instructors. And then one of the instructors got exposed, and that caused the exposure for the remainder of those persons in training.
He said the incident has prompted the force to ramp up its safety protocols even further.
The changes we intend to make with any entry that we enlist, it'll be a part of those persons being tested before they enter the training program. And we're going to keep them on board for at least a 2-week period before the training period commences. Likewise, the instructors will be tested. And for the duration of the training exercise, we will keep the instructors and the recruits. We'll keep them in a bubble for the duration of the training program. We will also include the use of masks.
Dr. King said these measures are similar to the ones implemented across the region. 57 recruits, including 26 women, graduated on Friday. The RBDF chief says the new officers add much-needed manpower to the force.
It's a help in the right direction. We still need to recruit. We still have more human capital demand. For example, over the last few years, we would have taken in, say, 90 persons per year. And we would have lost about 50% of that number through retirements, resignations, and discharges. And so it's an uphill climb.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
More news on the way, but here's a first look at weather with meteorologist Greg Thompson. Good evening, Greg.
Thanks, Kyle. I'm meteorologist Greg Thompson with your first look at weather. Outside our studios, humid conditions under partly cloudy skies. Temperatures in the mid-80s, 84 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast, bringing in that humid moisture across our area. Feels like temperature around 84 degrees Fahrenheit. On our satellite, most of that moisture associated with frontal boundary pooling towards the north across the northwest Bahamas. We have another frontal boundary across the southeast Florida area that's going to actually sag across our area and bring some more showers and thunderstorms tonight through tomorrow. That's your first look at weather. Your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come, a family speaks out on the 2013 murder of a young father. Plus, has that government house security report finally been completed? Stay tuned.
We share our stories because there is power in every story. There is hope in every story.
There is healing in every story.
Our stories will inspire you.
They will change you.
They will empower you because there is freedom in every story.
Join me, Erlene Camille, and my guest every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. for powerful, revealing, life-changing stories. Journey TV, we share life's truths.
You're watching Our News. Welcome back. The family of 27-year-old Alejandro Bain, who was killed outside of a restaurant and bar in 2013, reliving those tragic moments 7 years ago as a suspect was charged today. They said Bain was the protector of the family, adding his death is still a tough pill to swallow. Here's Berthany McDermott.
7 years after Alejandro Bain was tragically murdered, family members say they're still reeling from that loss.
Like I say, that happened, that made our life a living hell.
Wearing a t-shirt that read "Justice for Ali," Alejandro's father, Alexander Bain, said his death nearly tore his family apart. The 27-year-old was shot dead in April 2013 when he intervened in a domestic dispute at the South River restaurant and bar. Bain recalled the last time he saw his son before his life was violently cut short.
One night we went out, me, him, and his sister, and that's when this murder took place. And the person, he and his cousin, they pulled off, sped off in the car, and you didn't see him from since.
Bain worked in a machine shop at Bahamas Experience. He also welded in his spare time and was known for customizing motorbikes. Bain left behind a son who is now 10 years old.
When he died, I only could tell his son, your daddy ain't coming right back right now. You went to heaven. So he said, my daddy ain't coming back. I say, no. And he took it kind of hard too.
Earlier this year, Alejandro's mother passed away. Bain said his wife took their son's death extremely hard.
His mother just died this year. And that tore her heart apart, so she couldn't take much. It even was hard on me because After he died, I lost about 20 pounds, maybe more. Never gained my weight back.
7 years later, Bain says the emotional wounds inflicted on his family following his son's death have yet to heal. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
The much-anticipated report into a deadly shooting at Government House is likely to be released before the end of the year, according to National Security Minister Marvin Dames, who confirmed the report has been completed.
That has been completed. I think that, I know that it went to print. And so I know it would have been completed. We'd be happy to share it with you sometime next week. I can't say right offhand. I would prefer to refer to the report. But we were waiting for the committee, and we entered into that COVID period, to make a formal presentation before we shared the report. But they would have completed it, and the report would have been printed. And so we're just waiting for that formal presentation.
In April 2019, Petty Officer Philippa Paul was killed while on duty at Government House. Dames appointed 4 retired law enforcement officers to review and determine whether there were any breaches or failures in security at Government House on the morning of the incident. Still to come, a food vendor serves up inspiration during the pandemic. Stay tuned.
This is a huge deal. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, only with Rev Trio. All day football, all day Sunday. Enjoy all the benefits of Trio with a huge extra. Never miss a game with NFL Sunday Ticket, included in your Rev Trio bundle. All you have to do is opt in. TV, phone, and internet starting at just $99. Call 601-8992 to sign up now. Visit www.rev.bs/promotions for details.
A small restaurant owner is persevering despite the challenges brought on by the pandemic. Jared Ace has more.
Karen Green is the proud owner of Kay's Kitchen, a small pop-up style restaurant. Born out of her passion for her favorite food, Green pursued her restaurant dream a few years ago after 30 years as a beautician.
Kay's Kitchen has been my lifelong dream.
The restaurant has tons of options, but Kay sees herself as a sandwich person. She's located at Tinfurl on the Dundas property. The consistent location has been a blessing, she says.
I used to be all about asking property owners and shop owners to be able to vend on their property. So to be here on this property with no stress and the freedom to grow.
But things have been tough for Green during the pandemic. She was evicted from her apartment on Thursday and will have to find a new place. The weekend lockdowns have also had a negative impact on her business. She tells us how she stays motivated.
My son, oh my God, I'm so grateful for my son. He's helped me on my... But when I see him, I have to push. And he always encourages me.
Green and her fellow Tinfurl vendors were outraged last week when police shut down many of the vendors for not having the proper license to sell their food. Those vendors were given provisional licenses, but Green thinks government should consider removing some of the red tape.
COVID is causing people who were on their jobs, who did not want to be on their jobs, to actually find something to do. You know, and the licenses is like they box you in. So I would like to tell whoever is in charge at this time, this is a great time to review those licenses and give us a little bit more freedom as Bahamians.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
The Colonial Group of Companies has officially launched under a common brand known as the Coral Isle Group. Here in the Bahamas, companies will operate under the CG Atlantic banner. CEO of Pensions Larry Gibson called the branding a milestone for the company.
In the Bahamas, the pensions division went under the name Colonial Pension Services, Colonial being the former name of the parent company and the parent entities. Today, that has all changed. Throughout the entire region, we will now be named Coral Isle. So the name Colonial disappears and it's replaced by Coral Isle, which has greater significance for our business.
General Manager of CG Atlantic General Paula Turner said the rebranding encapsulates the wide variety of services being offered.
For us, with the general insurance side, many of our customers did not know we had a medical division or a pension division because we were under different names. So with the name change, they now understand that we offer a full range of products, not just property and motor, but we have medical and we have pensions.
Still to come, what's happening in sports, and later, the Cable Bahamas Business Solutions Market Watch. Stay tuned.
This is a huge deal. NFL Sunday Ticket is back, only with Rev Trio. All day football, all day Sunday. Enjoy all the benefits of Trio with a huge extra. Never miss a game with NFL Sunday Ticket, included in your Rev Trio bundle. All you have to do is opt in. TV, phone, and internet starting at just $99. Call 601-8992 to sign up now. Visit www.rev.bs/promotions for details.
In sports, the Braves pushing the Dodgers to the brink of elimination as the Astros stay alive against the Rays. Marcellus Hall reports.
Well, if you're a baseball fan, you've certainly been enjoying the last couple of days because the MLB playoffs, in particular the League Championship Series, have been nothing short of phenomenal. Last night the action continued. Let's take a look at some highlights.
League Championship action continuing in both the National and the American League. National League first up, Braves looking to bounce back after losing Game 3, 15-3 the night before. Dodgers on the board early. They got a solo shot to go up 1-0. Braves with the answer in the fourth as Marcell Ozuna tying it with a solo blast of his own. More from Ozuna later on as he had a big night. To the sixth, still tied at 1, Freddie Freeman with a double to right field. That scores a run. Ozuna follows with a double, and the route is on. Braves rolling to a 10-2 win. They take a 3-1 lead in the best-of-7 series. To the American League, with the Astros and Rays doing battle, Astros' George Springer goes deep on the first pitch he sees. That puts Houston up early. This one back and forth contest. Rays trailing by 1 in the 8th, but Ji-Man Choi going deep to tie the game at 3. Bottom of the 9th, Carlos Correa, he drives this one to deep center field and gone. A walk-off home run. Astros forcing a Game 6, 4-3, your final score. To the NFL, where Week 6 gets underway on Sunday. And let's take a quick look now at your upcoming schedule.
And we'll give you full details of the entire weekend's activities, including football and baseball, coming up for you on Monday. Reporting for Our News, I'm Marcellus Hall.
And that's a look at news. We throw it back to meteorologist Greg Thompson for the extended weather forecast.
Thanks again, Kyle. In our second look at weather, we take a look at satellite picture across the area. Front boundary sagging across central and south Florida, bringing some showers and thunderstorms to the northwest Bahamas. We'll continue to see that frontal boundary sag towards the south. The tropics remaining a little bit active. We have an area that we're watching in the western Caribbean and another one in the open Atlantic. Your boating forecast tonight through tomorrow for all areas. East to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, seas running 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide will be at 8:11 tonight. Here's a look now at your national forecast. A look now at your extended forecast through Wednesday. That's a look at our weather. Have a safe night and a great weekend.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, the experts for all your business needs. This has been your Financial Market Minute. Cable Bahamas Business Solutions, giving you trusted solutions that work for you and your business. Contact us today.
Well, thank you for joining us for Our News tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Kyle Joaquin. Remember, you can catch Our News on the Go with the Go Play app. Have a good Friday evening, Bahamas.